But then yesterday, there's another article that comes out, not about gambling, but it is an article about a lawsuit that was filed against Shohei Ohtani. And I want to tell the story quickly about this lawsuit to make sure that we're all on the same page of what happened. Now, is it a coincidence that this lawsuit was made public when the Dodgers are playing the Angels? Yes. Is it a coincidence that this lawsuit was made public when the Angels improved to 4-0 against the Dodgers with another win last night, and the Dodgers are clinging to a one-game lead in the NL West? Yes. Total coincidence. The fact of the matter is that this lawsuit could show the possibility that there's some stuff going on with Shohei and Ohtani's agent, who we've talked about, Naz Bolello, as I've told you, not exactly beloved, but that I don't hold that against anybody, because there are a lot of people I love who aren't exactly beloved, and they're incorrectly not beloved, actually. The thing with Naz is, well, he's just Naz. But here's the lawsuit that was filed against Shohei Ohtani yesterday. When you have a business, let's say it's a real estate business, let's say you're developing real estate, and you want to sell units inside a building, apartment units, or you're building homes inside a development that has 50 homes, 2 golf courses, a clubhouse, and you're building like a neighborhood. One of the things you do is you try to get famous people to buy a place. The reason why is that you say it's going to be totally confidential, but then it's not. Because what you do is, in order to sell more of the homes, you say, hey, by the way, Mr. X is living here. Or you're touring the facility and you go by a house and you say, look, by the way, not this is quiet, don't tell anyone, but John Cocktoaston will be buying this house right here. And there are individuals who are not famous, who are rich, who feel like, wow, I want to be associated with that. I think that's super cool. So it's not entirely uncommon at all for a celebrity to get involved in a project like this, and then the celebrity gets paid for it. The pay can come in several ways. One, and the most common, is it comes in a discount to what the house is being sold to an ordinary rich person. So if there's 5 $20 million homes and you want a celebrity in a $20 million home, it is not uncommon for the developer of the 5 $20 million homes to give it to the celebrity for $10 million. That's one way. The other way is that you still charge $20 million for the home, but you pay the celebrity a $10 million fee so that the celebrity will make 2 commercials, will do a testimonial. I love this neighborhood. I love this home. I love this developer. So somehow Shohei Ohtani got involved in a development around the Mauna Kea Resort in Hawaii. It doesn't matter how, it doesn't matter what his involvement is, but what matters is that there were developers and brokers who were selling houses in this development, and one day they came to work and got fired. And it turns out what is being alleged is that Ohtani and Nez somehow were Machiavelli in this plot and were not happy with this broker and investor. And so they are now suing Ohtani, saying, hey, I was about to make millions of dollars with this development. You were brought in as an endorser. All of a sudden, you kept making demands. You kept making requests, and everyone kept saying yes to you because no one likes saying no to celebrities. And all of a sudden, you demanded that we get fired, and we got fired right when we were about to make money. After developing, picture an agent who spends years developing a young player, buying a young player cleats and gloves and equipment and staying with them when they're not being paid, when they're minor leaguers, then they're big leaguers. They're about to hit arbitration. They're about to sign a big deal, and boom, they get poached. Somehow, in our industry, that's totally kosher. But in the real world, where you sign contracts, that's not as legal. So this lawsuit is filed in Hawaii, where the properties are, and it's alleging tortious interference with the contract. It's alleging unjust enrichment. And what it's saying is that somehow Ohtani got in the way of these guys making money. And guess what? Those are the type of lawsuits that judges tend to pay very close attention to, because you don't want to live in a society. Now, gambling, stealing someone's money, run-of-the-mill, armed robbery, active shooters, stuff that we see that gives us nightmares every day, that's one thing. But getting in the way of a contractual obligation, like tortious interference with the contract, or the concept of, hey, you agreed to do something, I agreed to do something, you're going to make a lot of money if you do what you were supposed to do, but I'm going to do something that stops you from doing what you're supposed to do, that's not allowed, and judges don't like it. This is going to be a tough one for Ohtani. It's going to cost him money. He's not going to want this to go to court. And in order to settle this, what do you think the investor and the broker are going to want? I'll give you 5 guesses. It's not a public apology. It's not a public flogging in the public square. They're going to say, well, there's 50 houses at $10 million each. My cut is 10%. So, hey, if you don't mind, I'll take about 5 large. I'll take 50 large. I'll take 3X in damages because I'm so despondent that I got fired. There's going to be a money amount. I have a view of cases, having been to law school and a lawyer, that didn't practice, but I have plenty of practice with lawyers, that you have to know going into a lawsuit what exactly the other side is after. And 9 times out of 10, the other side is after money. But 1 time out of 10, they're after blood. And then that's 11 if I do. 811, let's say. Thank you. Coca, let's start that again. 4869. When you go into a lawsuit, you have to know what the other side is interested in. And 8 times out of 10, they're interested in just money. 1 time out of 10, they're interested in blood. And 1 time out of 10, they're interested in the concept of specific performance, which is, hey, I'm just suing you because I'd like you to do what you were supposed to do. Please, because that's our contract. When Ohtani looks at this lawsuit and evaluates it with his lawyer, you got to believe that this is falling in the 80% where he's just going to have to write a check. God forbid that it's the blood one, because then there's no settlement. That's the problem when you're going after a settlement. It's easy to settle cases that are in the 80%, which is why so high a percentage of cases settle, because with money, that's just a negotiation. The problem is when there's blood at stake or specific performance, those are the ones that tend to go to trial, because it is so truly difficult to get someone to value that the same. So we'll see what happens with this website. But I would argue, Coca, that Ohtani, not that we're seeing a pattern, but I don't think we are. And not that he's distracted by it because he hit another home run. I think, what is it, Coca, 4 games in a row with a home run? So it's not that. It's 3 only. 3 straight games with the home run. Well,